Hi, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for spending your time with me. The Women's Prize winner is going to be announced in just a couple of days, so I thought that for this reading vlog, I would concentrate on the Women's Prize. Sorry, the fur babies are playing in the background. So I thought for this week, I would concentrate on the short list and as much as the long list that I can finish. So in terms of the short list, I have read Fire Rush by Jacqueline Crooks, Trespasses by Louise Kennedy, Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell, and for this week I'm going to be reading Black Butterflies by Priscilla Morris. There is a slight chance that I can get a hold of Pod in the last couple days before the winner is announced, but we'll have to wait and see about that. I also thought that I would read, or rather listen to Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow, and she's actually one of the narrators of the audiobook. And if there's time, I'm going to try to read I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel and Curse Bread by Sophie McIntosh. But this is a very ambitious reading week for me, and life does tend to happen. So I'm going to read Black Butterflies and Memphis. So let's get reading. I've finished Black Butterflies, and this is a beautiful, beautiful book. It's funny because I hemmed and hawed as to whether or not I should purchase it. For whatever reason, I couldn't find this in Canada, and it was a little bit of an indulgence to bring it over from the UK, but I am so glad I did. And this is the power of prizes, which I love so much. This is a new to me author. I didn't know if this was going to be worth my hard-earned dollars, and it was very inconvenient to get, but I'm glad I did because this novel is stunning. So in terms of plot, the main character, whose name is Zora, and she is a landscape artist. It's set in Sarajevo in 1992 at the beginning of their war. And in terms of structure, it's told in seasons, beginning in spring and following 1 year. Sorry about that. And following 1 year of the war. I better go let my cat in. All right, Wednesday the cat is now in. So this is told in seasons, and it's so beautifully structured because with every season, there is a change in Zora's world, and a big change. It's almost like as every season goes by, her world and her sense of self is sort of stripped away and brought forth, if that makes sense. I think that sense of place is amazing in this book. The way that Priscilla Morris handles civil war and separation and displacement is incredibly well done. This book made me cry, and I don't cry a lot over books, except when I can't get them. Anyways, she does separation and displacement really, really well. I loved the community that is formed. Um, Zora as a character is unforgettable. Her sense of hope and the things that she does throughout this book are incredible, and it's not something I'm going to forget quickly. I loved how the theme of art and war is woven into this. I love how Zora's character is synonymous with art, and no matter what happens to her, she finds, I don't know if the word is serenity, but she finds a way through all of the hardships through her art. I love the image of bridges because she is obsessed with the bridges in her country, and she paints them over and over again. But I love how that's woven into a place where she's trapped and she needs to get to that bridge in order to go to the next place, but she can't. And then what happens when she attempts to cross that bridge? Beautifully, beautifully done. I am so glad for this book. I am glad it made the shortlist, and she is definitely a new to me author that I cannot wait to read her next book. So if you can get your hands on this, get your hands on it. It's totally worth the extra dollars. So now on to Memphis by Tara M. Stringfellow. This is my latest package from my Fitzcarraldo Editions subscription, and it is Brian by Jeremy Cooper. I finished listening to Memphis, which is narrated by Karen Murray, Aidan Reilly Ojo, and Tara Stringfellow herself. This is a debut novelist from a poet. The author lives in Memphis, and you can tell how much she loves her city. It is beautifully written. The plot takes place over 3 generations of women and the family, and that's over 70 years. And for a very slim novel, not quite sure that it works. The structure is told in chapters, and the timeline goes back and forth. Each of the chapters is named after the character and the year that it takes place. What didn't work for me is that all of the characters, their chapters are told in the third person, but for whatever reason, Joan is told in the first person, and I really found it jarring. It didn't work. It really took me out of the book every time that switch happened. Another problem that I had was Joan as a 10-year-old. I didn't believe that she was 10 years old. I kept having to remind myself that this wasn't a more mature woman. And in fact, while I love the characters, hi Manu, while I love the characters and I think that they were really well done, I don't think that their voices changed at all, even though the timeline did. So I think that that could have been more focused. Um, I expected it to be more poetic. It's very well done. Um, the descriptions of Memphis are extremely well done. And maybe it's my fault for putting that expectation on it, because if I didn't know she was a poet, I wouldn't be expecting that. So I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But Tara Stringfellow can do characters extremely well, and I will definitely read her again. Now, I was hoping to read I'm a Fan and Curse Bread before the long list, but I don't think I'm going to quite get to it. I am expecting Pod to come in, so I'm hoping I can sneak that one in before the women's long list is announced. Anyways, thanks again for hanging out with me. I appreciate your spending time. And if you're so inclined, please like and subscribe. And I will see you in my next video. Bye. Ripley. Hi, honey.